find the link. All right, so this is actually the very, very last day of Six Figure Success Simplified. Oh, here's Miss Amber. And this is a bonus class. So on days 1 through 5, we talked about aligning, designing, getting the foundations, what are the specific foundational pieces we need to have in our business, our signature system, our high-end offer, our offer suite. We talked about how to attract clients into our ecosystem, making sure that we were attracting the right ones. So we're going to kind of do a little refresh on that today, because in order to uncover where our clients are, we need to know specifically which the right ones are, right? We also talked about nurturing. What do we do once our ideal client comes into our ecosystem? And then how do we invite them to work with us in a way that feels really good and natural and easy, and not like we're just, trying to drag somebody across the finish line. And then on day 5, we talked about being an empowered leader. We talked about the obstacles to success that we bump up against, the ways we take ourselves out of the game, the ways that we keep playing small, and what we need to do instead. So all of those replays are available. Laura, I'll go ahead and just pop those to you in an email. But they're in a couple of places. Number one, they are in an email that you guys get from me when we're talking about, Six Figure Success Simplified. They're also inside the Facebook group. So if you go into the very top of the Facebook page and click on featured posts, it's right there. It'll say find all of the replays here. And it's also inside the guide section inside of the Facebook group. So we actually have them in 3 different places so that you guys can find them easy wherever it is that you are. So in order for us to find our ideal clients, in order for us to, kind of uncover the treasure map that is going to take us exactly to where our right client is, we really need to know, again, who that person is. Because if we don't know specifics on who she is, we're not going to know where exactly to find her. And there's a lot of confusion about this. So I want to kind of just do a little bit of a refresh on who is your perfect fit client. If we take a look at our whole ecosystem right now, there are people that 30% of the people in our world right now are actually people that I call the sidewalkers. They are not ready to do anything about a problem. They are not willing to get it solved. They're not willing to take action on it. They might think that you're really cool. They might like your posts. They might show up to a lives. They might download a freebie. But until they're actually ready to do something about it, they're actually not your ideal client. And what I see happening a lot with coaches and practitioners and healers is that there's a lot of time and energy trying to convince that 30% that they have a problem that they need solved. And that is never going to bring you, that's not your right client. So trying to convince or persuade them that they have a problem that you can solve for them is not what we want to be doing. Okay, so there's 30% of those people, if they're not willing, they have to be 2 things. They have to be willing to actually do something about the problem, and they have to be capable, right? They have to be willing and they have to be capable, which means that they have to go up the ladder of beliefs that we talked about on day 4 on the invite, which is they have to believe that their solution to the problem that they want solved, first they have to have a problem that they want solved, right? Then they have to believe that actually solving that problem is possible in the world someplace. Then they have to believe that it's possible for them to have their problem solved. Then they have to believe it's possible for them right now, not when all the money's in the bank, not when they're feeling ready, not when the kids go to school, not when, all of the stars align, not when we get permission from our mom and our dad or our spouse or our boyfriend that now is the right time for us to build and grow our business. All of those are just back end stories. They have to be willing that they're ready right now and they want your support. So that's the next layer, right? They have to have already had an experience of know, like, trust with you. Okay. So this is not about trying to grab a cold lead and trying to turn them into a buyer. If they don't already have an experience with you, if they're not in your warm market, we can't actually take them up the ladder of beliefs yet, right? We have to actually have an experience with them and create some trust with them. And then once they believe that their problem, they're ready to solve their problem, and they are willing and they're capable and they want your support, the next step is that they actually get to have the conversations that they need to have, or they get to explore whatever it is they need to explore to find the resources to say yes. Okay. Those are the ladder of beliefs that before anybody can work with you, they have to be willing. They have to go through all of those 5 steps before they can be a buyer, right? So I just want to do that refresh for you. And if you want to go back and listen to day 4 for Invite, we did a deep dive on those steps. And this is the reason why trying to convert a stranger into a buyer doesn't work, because they haven't gone up those steps, right? Even if they're not sure exactly how to come up with the money, they still have to be willing to explore outside resources. If they're not willing to explore outside resources, they can't be a buyer with you. Okay? Does this make sense? If this makes sense, go ahead and just pop a yes in the chat for me. Okay. So I want you to notice that, okay, beautiful, that your sidewalker who doesn't believe that she's got a problem, who's not willing or capable to do anything about it. Can you see that sidewalker, that 30%, that she's not your ideal client? Yeah. So who do we want to actually talk to? We want to talk to and find the people who are in the slow lane and the fast lane. People that are in the slow lane are people who actually think they have a problem. They actually are Googling something, what's the best cleanse for women going through menopause? What's the best way for me to energetically align to XYZ PDQ? How do I talk to my angels? How do I connect with my spirit guides? How do I lose weight and keep it off without having to, diet forever? Whatever it is, they have to actually be searching and want a solution for their problem. Okay, so that is the person in the slow lane. They're looking, they believe they have a problem. They want it solved. They believe that problem is solvable. They just haven't found you yet. They just haven't found you yet. Okay, and there are people that are looking for the solution that you can provide for your people. That's who we want to identify. Who is that person who is already in the slow lane? She's looking, she's like, who is my person? I just haven't found them yet. Okay, so we're going to go through that today. Where do we find her? And then the 3% who's in the fast lane, those are actually people who already love you, know you, like you, trust you. They just need to be invited. They just need to be invited, right? And so at any point in time, there's 3% of people in our ecosystem that are ready to say, yes, I want to work with you right now. And the reason why they're not saying yes is because they haven't been invited. They haven't been invited. They haven't been reached out to. We haven't gone, hey, Amber, how are you? I'm so excited. Just wanted to share, I've got this cool new thing coming up. Could I share the details with you? So the 3% of people that are in your ecosystem right now, I want to talk about who they are too, because they could also be past clients. They can be current clients that maybe you've got a different offer that you could invite them into. They could be people that you're reactivating, which means they worked with you before and they're ready to come back, right? After a year or a couple years. They could be people that you're renewing. Okay, so bringing people and finding your client treasure map is not all about new client generation. If we are only focused on generating new clients all the time, that's a lot of time and energy, when actually around 40% of your income is actually going to come from new clients. The 60% are going to be coming from reactivations, renewals, upsells, current clients that are in your ecosystem that might want to come into something else. So for example, maybe they are working you with right now in a coaching program and you've got a retreat that's coming up. Maybe they want to move in that direction. Maybe they're in a group coaching program and you want to invite them into having some extra one-on-one support or a VIP day or something. There's a lot of different ways that we can actually bring income into our business if we're clear on who are our warmest and our hottest leads. So I'm going to share a little something with you guys right now. I was going to share something else with you, but now that I'm actually talking through all of this, I'm going to share this next piece. Let's see. Shoot, it's not coming up. Of course it isn't. Okay, let me do this. And I will give you guys this, by the way. This is a brand new freebie that we just updated. It's our business basics for consistent clients in 10K months. And we just added some really cool stuff to it. So let me just find this for you guys. We will make sure that you get it. That's not it. Ah, okay, here we go. Oh, computer. All right. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. When we take a look at our warmest leads, and again, that is who is in our 3% of the people that already have an experience of know, like, trust with us. This is where they're coming from. Okay. Current clients, past clients, referrals, warm leads who maybe didn't buy. Okay. So maybe you already had a conversation with them and they said, you know what? Now's not the right time. Circle back around with me later. And any of the people that you've already had a conversation with in your email, a Facebook group, engaged on social media, maybe they've registered for an event, right? This is the order that we actually, from top to bottom, that we start with first. Most people actually do it opposite. Most people are like, oh, who's brand new? Who do I reach out to first? Right. And then they go into Facebook groups, and then they go into that is actually the people down at the bottom that are brand new. They actually haven't had a chance to be nurtured by you yet. Okay. So we talked about this on, what was it, day 3 for attract and nurture. The difference with these people that are coming in that we're attracting new leads with freebies, those are people that are in the slow lane that have just found you. Okay, they're looking for a problem. They want a solution, or they're not looking for a problem. They're looking to have a solution to their problem, right? They are at the very, very top of our funnel and they haven't yet been nurtured yet. So we want to build know, like, and trust with them. So I want you to remember that just somebody who's just now coming into your ecosystem, they need to be nurtured. Okay. The people that we invite are people who now have gone into here, they are already in your ecosystem. And so we're going to start first when we want to fill a program, or when we want to fill an offer, or we want to invite somebody to work with us. Depending on the offer, we start at the very top, which is current clients. Who do we have in our ecosystem now? And would this be a good fit to invite them to continue to work with us? So again, it could be maybe you've got somebody who's getting ready to renew with you, right? So you can take a look at who are the people that are getting ready to renew with you in the next 60 days, 90 days. Okay, you could reach out and invite them to renew with you early. You could give them a specific offer and invite them, into something that is going to allow them to not only save money, but also work with you in another way. Okay, or maybe it is a different type of offer. Maybe there's a different program, a retreat, some sort of session that is still going to serve them that they don't yet have access to. Okay, so that's where we take a look at, what do we have in our offer suite? And then we go to past clients. So again, past clients are reactivations. Reactivations are different than renewals. Renewals are people that are already working with us that are getting ready to continue. Reactivations are people that have worked with us previously in any type of container. And the truth is, even if somebody has spent $7, $97 with you, they are 400 times more likely to work with you in a high-end offer. So they all count. Anytime anybody has spent any amount of money with you, okay, they can be a reactivation. They can be invited into another offer. Okay, then there's referrals. Is there anybody in your ecosystem that you've been referred to? Have you followed up with them? Have you connected with them? The reason why a referral is important is because there's a transfer of trust that happens already, right? And then we go to the people who didn't buy, right? So who do we know who joined us on a masterclass? Who do we know who's in a Facebook group? Who do we know who we've had a conversation with who didn't buy yet? They just weren't ready yet. And it's okay. We all have our own process, right? But they still need to be invited. They still need to be invited. So I hope this is making sense. This is really our treasure map when we are wanting to find out who are the best fit for us to work with right now within the next 30 days. This is where we go. This is where we go. Okay, I'm going to stop the share here. And whoops, I'm not going to stop the share. I'm going to just tell you here, when we take a look at a healthy business model is going to look like this. 40% of our business is going to come from new clients. About 30% are going to be current clients that renew. So if we are not inviting people to renew, to continue to work with us in some way, shape, or form, we are leaving 30% on the table. Okay, 15% is typically going to be past clients that we are still in connection with, and we invite them to come back into our ecosystem in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't need to be in the exact same program. It could be in an alumni version. It could be a maintenance version. It could be a new offer that you've created. Okay, then 15% can come from referrals. People who are like, hey, you need to meet my friend Laura. She's amazing. Go connect with her, right? You need to meet my friend Deirdre. She's so good about teaching people about energetic chakras. You need to meet my friend Amber. She's so amazing about helping you tap into your angels. You need to meet my friend Jocelyn. She does this really cool Ayurvedic cleanse, right? So that's referrals. And then 15% are what we call upsells. So an upsell isn't like, how do I get more money from my clients? It's that you've got something that you could serve them, right? So maybe somebody inside of your program is really, really struggling. And you're like, you know what? I think this would be a good time for us to, have like a power hour together. Or maybe they want to have a half-day VIP day with you or a full-day VIP day that is going to help them with something. That's what upsells are. Okay, they are giving people another layer of value. Okay, so this is what we want. If we don't have this in our healthy sales breakdown and we're only focused on new clients, you can see 60% we're leaving on the table, right? Is this making sense for you guys? I'm going to stop the share. I just want to come off mute and see if this is making sense. How many of you are actually looking at your business from the perspective of not just new clients, but who have I worked with in the past? Who could renew with me? Who might be willing to reactivate? Who have I had conversations with before? These are people that are already in your warm market.
Prior to
Someone
moving
does that. Go ahead.
up here where I am now, the majority of my clients were referrals and clients that would come in and out.
Great. Perfect. Excellent. So this is good because we can take a look at referrals, clients that are coming in and out. And so where's the gap here? Is it the new clients? Is it right? So this is the reason why I want you guys to see that is because you can see which pieces are missing, right? Which pieces are missing? Am I missing the referral part? Nope. Sounds like you got that dialed in. Am I reaching out to past clients? Am I inviting people to work with me in a different way as an upsell? Am I reaching out to past people who said no, that weren't ready yet? Okay, so when we take a look at all of that and we see where are the places that actually make up a really healthy sales ecosystem, it's going to tell you exactly where to find people that are in your warm market that you could invite to work with you today. Yeah. How is this landing for you? Amber, you had popped something in the chat. Yeah, 2 offers that you're working on right now are targeted to your current clients and past clients. Amazing. Yeah. So Jocelyn, make sure that in addition to tracking all of your conversations and people, that you are actually inviting them to work with you, right? Make sure that you are actually inviting people to work with you. And in full transparency, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually true. You should be making offers every single day. Every single day, you should be able to make at least one offer to somebody who is already in your ecosystem. So if you take a look at that again, who do I know, right? Who said no in the past that might be interested? I could invite them into a conversation. Who's ready to renew? Who do I know who came to me from a referral? Go through that list, and you should be able to make one offer every single day, Monday through Friday. How would it change your business if you were making one offer every single day, Monday through Friday? You would have made what, 5, 10, 15, 20 to 30 offers in a month. How many of you are making 20 to 30 offers right now in a month to work with you? It would change it big time. Yeah. 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 Go ahead and pop in the chat. How often are you making offers? Rarely. Okay. Yeah. Some of you might be doing launches and you're like, well, I make offers every time I do a launch. That's great. And we should be making offers in between our launch too. Goes in spurts. Okay, great. Yeah. So this is just a reminder. Yeah, you make a natural offer about 2 to 3 times a week now. Great. I'm also a launcher offer. Yeah, right. Yeah. Launches. Yeah. Look, launchers are great. Launchers are fantastic, but we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket, right? Why? Because then we get so freaking stressed out when we're delivering a launch and we're like, holy shit, like I wanted this many and only this many joined, right? So that's not a healthy sales system. That's not a healthy sales ecosystem. We should be able to make offers on the daily into something that can support people in order for us to have a healthy sales ecosystem. Okay. And so that is going to allow us to have predictable income and consistent clients. If we're only launching once a quarter, right, and we're not making invitations in between there, you're actually leaving 60% of your potential income on the table. It's a lot. What would happen if you increased the income that you're making right now by 60%? What would that look like? Where would that take you? I know now we got to do math, right? It's like, where's my calculator? I don't know. What would happen if you doubled it? Let's just do that. Yeah, Amber has a good question. Yeah, yeehaw. Okay, good. If you're only launching once a quarter, what are you offering in between? Right. So what you're offering in between is upsells, renewals, reactivations into a program that you've got going on. Maybe you're inviting into a trust offer, right? Maybe you've got something else that you've created. And again, we do want to have at least, and again, once you have got consistent, once you've got your offer suite, we do want to make sure that we've got an offer that we could have open enrollment. Now that's different from Evergreen. Open enrollment just means that people can come into your program at any time. They can come into your program or start with you at any time. If we have a year program and we only launch once a year, we're kind of stuck for the rest of the year, right? Even launching once a quarter, we're not actually making any income in between there. And so we're leaving a lot of income on the table. So that's where I would love to have my eyeballs on whatever your offer suite looks like. So, and Amber, you and I are going to talk about that too. So we can decide, okay, what are you going to offer in between? Right? Is there a mid-tier offer? Is there another offer? Is there a trust offer? How are we building no like trust? Like there's a lot of different things that we can actually offer. It could be one-on-one work, right? That's not a regular, part of your group program. It could be a special, 30-day experience with somebody. It could be, there's a lot of different things that it could be, but we do want to have that written down someplace where we can look at it and realize like, okay, what am I going to offer this month? Right? If I'm not in launch, what am I going to offer this month that's going to be bringing sales into my business? Yeah. Jocelyn said she'd make 80K a year. Great. Yeah. Fantastic. Deirdre would be at her 5K. Amazing. Excellent. Yeah. So go ahead and come off mute and tell me if this makes a difference. This is open up some ideas on where to actually find some paying clients like in the next 30 days, like even before Christmas? So again, this is with our warm market now, and we're not done. I'm actually going to talk about how do we find new leads too. So I promise I'm not going to leave you hanging here. We're going to also go in and talk about where do we find new leads? Where do we find new potential clients? And what do we do with them? Okay. But what questions do you have around this piece so far? I'd love to hear your thoughts. We know it's going to help you make more money, but are there any questions around this piece? No, you guys are good. I did an amazing job then. You guys have no questions. Fantastic. Okay. Now, then if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. Now what we want to do is we want to take a look at, all right, how are we now bringing new people in, right? So this is where we call lead acquisition, new client acquisition, okay? And so we do want to be bringing new people into our ecosystem, right? So just a reminder, what's our ecosystem? Our people go from strangers, which they don't know about you. They're looking for you, but they don't know about you yet, to a viewer. So they've downloaded a freebie. Maybe they've come into your Facebook group. Maybe they've been referred to you, right? So now they're a viewer. They go from a viewer into a potential lead. Then they go into a potential client. Then they go into a potential, or they go into a buyer. Okay. So there are going to be steps that people follow. So if we are bringing new people into our ecosystem on the daily, then they are over time going to be moving from stranger to potential buyer, right? Yeah, they're going to be moving through, which means that you're going to be able to have people who maybe 3 months ago, 6 months ago were a stranger that came in as a viewer that you can now invite to work with you, right? If we've nurtured them, if we've connected with them, right? If we've done what's in the middle that a lot of people are not doing right now, which is going to make the difference between you growing in 2025 and other people closing their doors. Okay. So let me just grab my handout for you guys real quick, and we're going to talk about this. Once we know who our ideal client is, right? And we talked about this on day 1 as well. And if you're unsure, you can go back through this. We have to know who it is that we're supporting. So, so, so important. This is one of the reasons why, I want to get your messaging dialed in and really, really clear, because you cannot be generic anymore. You cannot just talk about something in a generic way. People want specialists, and they want to know why it's important that they fix a specific problem. They need to know what happens if they don't succeed. They need to know what is it going to cost them in terms of their health, their life, their business, right? You need to have answers to all of these questions. If you are not clear on these questions, then we need to go back there and we need to get that dialed in. And we need to make sure that we're talking chocolate to our client, not just the broccoli, right? The broccoli is what it is that you do. The chocolate is what it is she's asking for. Okay. We are absolutely going to give her broccoli, but she's asking for chocolate. So we need to lead with chocolate. Okay. Once we know that, then this is your larger ecosystem. This is where people are. And then where do we find them? Great. Well, once we know who they are, where do they congregate? Where are they online? By the way, YouTube and Facebook are the 2 top places that people spend the majority of their time online. Okay, those are the 2 top places. So if you do not have a social media presence right now, my suggestion would be you start with one of those. I can't help you with YouTube. I'm learning that myself. I can help you with Facebook and Facebook groups, because that's how I've created over $2 million in my business. Okay. What do they read? What are their hobbies? What workshops or seminars do they go to? Where do they network? Who do they do business with on a regular basis? Who caters to that audience? Maybe what clubs or organizations can you rub elbows with them? What websites do they visit often or rely upon? This is going to give us a lot of information. Okay, this is going to tell us exactly where they are, but also who could be a potential strategic collaborator or partner with you, right? So I have a couple amazing partnerships with other coaches who actually certify people in menopause coaching, in copywriting, in intuitive life coaching, right? Where they do the certification in that modality, and I come in and I teach the business, right? Well, that the only way that I knew to go there was to know where else was my ideal client going, who else caters to this client, right? So Deirdre, crystal shops, right? Even ones that you do business with online that you've had a relationship for a really, really long time, that would be a good opportunity for you to connect and collaborate, maybe teach a specific live or teach a training. Same thing with you, Amber. There's something, specific. Right. For those of you that are in nutrition, one thing that I did when I was building and growing my holistic business was I connected with the Weston A. Price Foundation. And they are always looking for people to write articles and recipes. And I actually became a chapter leader for them, which allowed me to then collaborate with them, and they would send out to their email list information when I was doing a class. Okay, so I want you to see that it's not just what it is that we are doing on our own in our own audience, but it's also where else are they hanging out that we can connect with and collaborate with strategically. Okay. Then once we know where to find them, we want to give them value again, it's because these are new people, right? Nobody is going to work with you if they don't know you, like you, trust you. Okay, so what is the value that you're going to lead with first? And this is where we talk about creating a freebie that, or a high, and I call it high value and high converting. And the reason why is because people won't give you their name and address if it's not high value. And it's not high converting if it's not something that is actually solving a problem, a chocolate problem. So we want both. We want it to be something that's high value and high converting. So what's high converting? High converting means that out of 100 people that land on your freebie, at least 60, 70% or more are saying, yes, I want that. If we are not getting that high of a percentage on our freebie, what that does is it tells us two things. Number one, it's either not in front of the right person, or number two, we're giving them broccoli instead of chocolate. And so we need to zhuzh it up a little bit and figure out what is the wording or the messaging that we need to get clear on, which is actually really good news, because once we solve those two problems, it will start to be high converting, right? We don't need to kind of look for, 20 different things that need to be fixed, right? So once we have a freebie and we start putting it out there, we do, and this is why we have an email marketing system, so we can see, okay, how many people saw it and how many people said yes, that they wanted it, right? It's also going to tell us, gosh, if only 50 people saw it, even though it's high converting, what that tells us is that it's not getting in front of enough people, right? So there's a lot of different metrics that we can take a look at that's going to help us. But your high value, high converting freebie needs to be something that somebody would actually pay for. It needs to be repurposable. This is important. This means they can use it more than one time. They can print it out. It could be a template, a checklist, a meditation that they would listen to over and over again, because that keeps you front of mind. It helps them to create a win, an epiphany, or it solves a piece of their problem. It's easy to implement and it's easy for them to get, right? We don't want them to have to jump through a ton of hoops to get it. Right? We want whatever it is that you're sharing with them to be easy to implement. This is what is going to attract new people into your ecosystem. And you can share this in multiple ways, right? And again, this is types of different freebies that are going to attract your soulmate clients. It could be a 3-part video course. I'm not going to go through all of these because I want to have time to answer your questions. And I will give you guys this handout, by the way. It could be a recording download. It could be a webinar slides that you've done. It could be a workbook. It could be a free journal or a tip sheet or an infographic, right? Infographics are great. How many of you have seen the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen, right? That's an infographic that you can download. It could be a resource list. It could be a mini course. One of my highest converting freebies is actually a mini course of where to find paying clients in any economy that goes with this workbook here. It could be a tip of the day. It could be a quote of the day. It could be a cheat sheet, right? My second highest converting is my business basics checklist for consistent clients in 10K to 30K months, right? You can print it out. It could be free sample chapters for those of you that write a book. It could be a meditation, a music download, a graphic. Like there's a lot of different things that you can use. Could be access to an app if you have an app. Could be access to a membership group, or if you've got a membership already, you could give them a 14-day experience or something like that. So this is how we're going to bring new people into our ecosystem. Okay. And in order to do that, you do need to be visible. Where are you visible? Where are your people hanging out? Right here. Where are they congregating? Where do they hang out? What Facebook groups are they in? You need to be visible where they are. Okay. And I would even add, what podcasts do they listen to? You could go get on a podcast. Oh, it's there. Sorry. I'm like, oh, there it is. So this has to be part of your client attraction plan. Once they download this, right, then where do you share your freebie? Again, wherever it is that they're hanging out. It could be in an in-person talk. You can share it on Facebook. You could do a Facebook group swap. Here are 22 ways that you can get your freebie in front of your ideal client so that they can come into your ecosystem. Okay. I would love it if you guys, number one, I want to open it up for questions, but I also want to ask you, can you think of at least 1, 2, or 3 places that you could find an ideal client that you didn't think of before I just went through this with you? And
So
if you're not, yeah, go ahead, Jean.
I have a question about, and I'm new, so I'm not familiar with all this, but
Yeah, that's okay.
Facebook,
Uh-huh.
the rules are not sharing of selling of your own products and so on and so forth. So how do you do that
Well,
then?
so the rules have changed on Facebook. So you can absolutely sell your services and products on a personal profile now. You absolutely can. And again, when you're inviting people, now what we don't do is we don't go into somebody else's Facebook group and try to sell without their permission. Yeah, bye, Laura. Yeah, I'm so glad. So we don't try to, sell into somebody else's Facebook group unless there is an invitation. So for example, inside of Holistic Business Abundance, just a couple days ago, I said, share what's going on. Do you have a freebie? Do you have an offer? What do you have going on? Post here, right? So that would be the time that I'm saying, hey, everybody, wherever it is that you are, come post here. I'm giving you an invitation to post and share what it is that you've got going on. Okay. So that would be, where we would do that with other people's Facebook groups. The other thing that you can do when we are working and connecting or collaborating with people who have a Facebook group, right, is we just get to be connectors and collaborators. They would bring you inside of their Facebook group and you would share something of value and you would give a freebie to their people, right? And vice versa. Then you would have them come into your group and again, it doesn't have to be apples for apples, right? If you don't have a Facebook group right now, maybe you're just sharing it, someplace. You're sharing their freebie or sharing their Facebook group or something, or giving them more visibility. There's a lot of ways that we can actually create value for each other. Yeah. What other questions do you guys have popping up? Who's still unclear on where to find their client? Does this give you some ideas on where to find your client? Cool. I want you to pop one idea in the chat. If you don't have questions, go ahead and pop your one idea. Where could you find somebody who's in your warm market right now? And where could you get in front of somebody who is not in your ecosystem yet? Remember, those are two different things. New clients are people that haven't had an experience of you yet. Warm clients are something different. They're already in your ecosystem. And those are the people that you're going to want to reach out to and invite to work with you. Great. Deirdre said past clients. Excellent. Buddy groups from a previous program. Exactly. Beautiful. Yeah. And is your buddy group, are those new people or are those people in your warm market that you would invite to work with you?
I don't have a market, so, but
Yes, you do.
they're people that I've studied other programs with, and then we
Mhm.
decided to continue meeting once a month.
Great. Yeah, everybody here has got a warm market, even if you don't have a Facebook group, even if you don't have an email list. Why? Because you have personal connections. You've got people that you've been in programs, previous programs before. You're in other communities already. You've got a network. There's community there. Everybody has a warm market. You just have to think about, who do I know? Who do I know who? Yeah. Jocelyn, what about you? Where are you finding a new client that you can invite to work with you? And where is your potential future clients hanging out? Okay, great. So Amber, new people can come in from a quarterly article with a magazine. Great. Excellent. And then partnering with other people that have Facebook groups. Great. So those are fantastic for bringing new leads into your ecosystem. And then you said you were going to reach out to current clients into the other two offers that you're creating. Amazing. New clients, people I've done Ayurveda school with for the cleanse. Amazing. Great. Fantastic. Yeah. Now, remember, new people, if they're brand spanking new, then they're probably not a good fit for us to, reach out and say, hey, do you want to buy my thing? Right? But those would absolutely, if you already know them and you went to Ayurveda school, those would be good people for you to invite to work with you. So I see those people as being part of your warm audience. Absolutely. And then how are you going to bring new people into your ecosystem, Jocelyn? What would be one way that you would want to bring new people into your ecosystem who don't know you yet? And Laura says she can think of 3 collaborations she could reach out to. Yep, she had to pop off. Okay, so Jocelyn, sharing and reconnecting by cold calling so far. Cold calling people you know. Okay, so cold calling people you know is not bringing new people into your ecosystem if you already know them. Okay, if we already know them, then that's not bringing new people into our ecosystem. So Jocelyn, what we need to do is think about, where's your ideal client hanging out that doesn't know you yet? Yeah, so cold calling people that you know are, again, those are people in your warm market. Great. And Amber, yeah, you're promoting a summit, which is fantastic. Yeah. So summits are another way. Bundles are another way. Bundles are people who put together a bunch of freebies, right? Where you can promote your freebie inside of somebody else's bundle that is specifically targeted towards your ideal client. That's another way that you can get new people, get their eyeballs on you to download your free high value, high converting offer. Okay, great. How many of you feel confident enough to go ahead and take this and do on your own? Consistently and repeatedly. Yeah, if you don't know how to do this consistently and repeatedly, that actually converts. That's what I teach inside of Activate Abundance Academy. So if you haven't booked a call with me yet, go ahead and book that call with me, because this is what we dial in on. How are you getting in front of new people, right? Who are the new people? Where are the new people? Who are the warm people? And what are you offering so that we can make sales in between our nurture events? And how are we actually doing that? Okay, consistently, right? We need to have a plan. We need to have a strategy on what you're going to do consistently. That falls into the category of attracting new people, nurturing them and connecting with them and giving them value, and inviting people to work with you every day. If you do not have a marketing and a sales plan and a healthy sales system, this is why you need Activate Abundance Academy. This is what we get together for you. Okay. So bundles, Deirdre, are when somebody, for example, I'm in a bundle right now. It's called Little Black Friday something. I can't remember exactly. Someone had reached out to me and said, "Hey, Chris, will you be part of this bundle?" And so I created a freebie to put inside of that bundle. It might be, I think it's the 21 ways to get clients, even if you hate marketing. Okay, so that's a freebie in there. And she's got about 30 people together that have their freebie in this one bundle, which means that where to find 21 ways to find clients, even if you hate marketing, is getting in front of 29 other audiences. Right? And all I had to do was to create the freebie. That's it. Right? So the person who puts on the bundle actually is taking all of the work on creating the landing page and getting, creating the graphics and everything. All I have to do is take the copy that they've already created for me and share it and say, "Hey, everybody, this cool new thing is going on. If you want to, there's going to be 30 experts in whatever it is." So the good news is that there are so many different bundles out there that you can find that is going to serve your ideal client. Yeah. And so that's what we would want to uncover for you, Deirdre, specifically. What is the problem? Where is she hanging out? Right? Is it with more? Is it, is it somebody who's doing natural remedies? I mean, it could also be when we think about alternative therapies, right? There's a lot of us that are very organic, that are also interested in crystals, that are also interested in holistic health and wellness, that are also interested in these multiple different places. So that's where your ideal client is. Those are the type of bundles that you would want to have your
Yes.
freebie in. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. And they're actually really fun. Jocelyn.
I have a question. So
Mhm.
once you look at where your ideal client hangs out, like what
Mhm.
podcasts they listen to, what websites they frequent, where are they kind of like going?
Mhm.
How do you then get like I can get the world of like, making a request to be a guest on a podcast, right? Like that
Mhm.
makes sense. But like, um, for example, if I know they frequent certain websites, like how would we create partnerships in those realms to even have clients start to
Mhm.
talk to us or get to know us?
Yeah. So one thing is we talk about doing guest blogging. So if someone has a website that also has a blog, we would be looking for those that would take guest bloggers on. There are, even products that I use, I'll reach out to, there's this woman, I swear, I am like so addicted to her teas. They are so good and they are so yummy. And, she does some like tea ceremonies and things. I'll reach out to her and say, "Hey, would love to, bring you into my audience and share about the teas. And I would love to come into your audience and share about such and such." Right. So we want to lead with value first with them. Right. So that's how we would reach out first. So that would be if we're going to websites where they hang out, is it a product website? Is it a service-based website? Do they have a following on Instagram? Most of them do, or Facebook. Do they have a Facebook group? If so, you would probably want to be in that. If they are on Instagram, then that is where you could actually find some people that are using their products. Is that helpful, Jocelyn?
Yes. And then
Yeah.
I'm also thinking of like specifically for me, I actually have an apothecary that's close by.
Mhm.
And I haven't like I've sent emails to her, but I haven't quite like known how to connect that way, or even like to collaborate with local
Mhm.
naturopaths or things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you would want to do is you would want to go in and talk to them specifically. Naturopaths are probably not going to be the best fit for an Ayurvedic cleanse just because they do that anyways as part of their practice. However, but it might not be Ayurvedic. However, I would look at acupuncturists and chiropractors and integrative doctors, digestive health specialists. There's a lot of energy workers, massage therapists, things like that. So the way that we need to reach out, we need to go in and actually have a conversation with them. Hey, how are you? You need to go into the apothecary, and maybe it's that you're buying something and saying, "Hey, is the owner here? I'm a integrative health specialist, and I'd love to talk about, promoting the apothecary to my clients." Right. So again, we would lead with value first. I'd love to talk about a potential collaboration, and hear a little bit more about, where her ideal clients are. That's what I did when I was building collaborations and strategic partnerships is I always asked first. So for example, if it was a chiropractor, I would say, "Hey, tell me more about your practice. Who do you specialize in working with? Is it kids? Is it adults? Is it family members? I'm a health coach and a nutritional therapist. I would love to refer my clients to you. I just need to know a little bit more about who it is that you serve so I know which ones." And they were like, "Hell yeah, they want more business." Right. And then I would ask them, "Would you be open to having me come in and do a talk at your practice? Free talk." And they're like, "Sure, would love." Right. Anytime we're giving and leading with value first, it always comes back to us. Is it going to work out 100% of the time? No, but it doesn't matter. I only needed 5 people, 5 strategic partnerships that were actually, sending referrals to me.
Great. Thank you.
Mm.
That was super helpful. And then
Yeah.
I was thinking as you were sharing, well, what if I only have had like a handful of clients? I don't have like, a huge following on social media or like 100
It doesn't
clients, but
matter. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. And we didn't say that we're putting them in front of 30,000 people. We said that we'd like to refer our clients to them.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool. Any questions before we finish up for today? Yes, bye, Jean. Absolutely. Oh, I'm so glad. Yep, we will talk in December for sure. All right, my friends. So just a reminder, enrollment for Activate is open. If you have not yet enrolled and want to have a conversation about it, definitely send me a message. We will hop on a conversation. And otherwise, have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy. The replays will be up until the 30th of November. So if there's anything that you want to go back to and listen to, go ahead and do that unless you bought the VIP session, in which case you have access to all of those recordings for however long you want. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me serve you. This was so much fun.